Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry Bodenheimer, and today we're going to be taking a look at Genie. Genie is a 32-bit Trojan for Windows operating systems coded in assembly. So that immediately, for me at least, is a huge W on the malware writer's part, because we don't get to see assembly malware all that often anymore. We take a look over here in Firefox, we can see the creation time is actually today and not too long ago either. So in this rare case, I'm willing to believe the creation time on this one. First submission time was a little less than an hour later, and then the last submission time was about 10 minutes ago by yours truly. So it's been uploaded for about 10 hours, and if you want to go by this, it's been in creation and in the wild for about 11 hours. But we already have 50 detections, which, despite the malware being a W for being written in assembly, now I'm going to have to give it an L for having 50 out of 72 detections on VirusTotal. Here's your text for the video. We don't have much. We've got portable executable, assembly, and spreader. It's going to be up to us to figure out whether this has persistence, as well as a bunch of other things. Popular threat label is Trojan.MSIL/Genie. Threat categories is just Trojan. Family labels is MSIL, Genie, and Noon. It would take too long to see which AV companies are detecting this one, so if you want to follow along on your own and see for yourself, the MD5, SHA-1, and SHA-256 will be in the comments down below. But let's take a look at what major companies are not detecting it. So, Avira, just as in the last episode, doesn't have a signature for it. That's not great. WebRoot doesn't have one, but that's to the surprise of nobody. So it's just Avira and WebRoot on this one. And of course, the two major companies I always look for, Bitdefender has the variant Genie signature, and Kaspersky has MSIL Noon. Fair enough. We go to details. Here's your MD5, SHA, and SHA-251 for the video. Or 251, 256. It'll be in the comments. And there's your creation time. Names uploaded under slww.exe, randomstring.exe, and a smaller random string of only letters.exe. We go to relations. We can see there's 2 contacted domains. However, they're both Microsoft domains, so no need to pay much attention to that. We do have 8 contacted IP addresses as well. However, most of these have, or all of these have no detections. And we have 1 execution parent, which seems to be that random string that we saw earlier in details. So if we go up to that, no, it's actually a different random string, I believe, .file. And if we go to behavior, again, I don't spend much time on behavior on this channel, but if you want to look for yourself, now's your chance to do so. We have no sandbox detections. So despite the fact this has 50 AM and AV detections, no sandbox actually has a detection for it. And we have no IDS rules either. We only have 1 critical, 4 medium, and 2 low crowdsource Sigma rules. And if we go to community, we can see that Jaffa and Joe Security have been here. Joe Security is calling it form book, and Jaffa Cakes does not have a family label for it. Let's go ahead and minimize this and show the tools that we're going to be using for this video. We have System Informer, which I'll go ahead and get that ready now. I thought I already did. My bad. Okay, maybe I didn't get anything ready. We also have Process Monitor, Wireshark, and Zooey. Last but not least, let's take a look at the properties. We're going to go to Details, and it says File Description, Windows Devices, Type Application, File Version 1.0.0.0, and we do have a realistic-looking copyright from Microsoft Corporation. However, with this name, which is the original file name, you do all this and then you give it something like that, it kind of like balances it out. I'm not going to take away points, but I'm not going to give you points either. And no previous versions. So now, without any further ado, let's get Wireshark ready. We'll go ahead and start a new Cacket Patcher. And we'll minimize Firefox so it's not in the way. We'll also start System Informer, or Process Monitor, and without any further ado, let's run some malware. Once I open System Informer. Hello? Do you want to allow this app from an unknown publisher to make changes to your device? Sure I do. When we go down here, immediately we can see that SLWW is running by itself, And before too much longer, it should open a few more tasks, so let's just keep an eye on it. Should open any second now. Doesn't usually take very long. We can see scheduled tasks open, which isn't great. The main program killed itself. We had 2 PowerShell instances running, and now we have the .NET Services installer. So that is also going to disappear pretty quickly. So we're going to let that finish. I will go ahead and start a process monitor filter. So we're going to bring this over here. We're going to bring this over here. Computer, we're going to bring this over here. And yes, we can see that. Why? Oh my god. I just love Windows. Fine, I'll do it myself. We can also see that these scheduled tasks, or not scheduled tasks, reg services did close on its own. So now we have no remnants of the malware left. Alright, we're going to do 2 filters. The first filter that we're going to do is operation is create file. And the second filter we're going to do is process name is slww.exe. We'll go ahead and add that and apply it. And we have nothing? Wait a minute. Did I type the name in wrong? I don't think so. No, that's the right name. Wait a minute, what did I do wrong? Operations create file, process name is slww.exe. Is it possibly doing something to hide its tracks? Filter, process name is slww.exe. Wait a minute. View. I have file name extensions on. I have no idea what's happening. I've never seen this before. Operations, create file. I'm just going to remove these really quick. We're going to apply and just make sure that we're able to view something. And then I'm going to try doing those filters again because there's no reason that it should have done that. So now let's just try process name and then apply. Huh? Oh, wait. Is it maybe SIWW? And I'll make sure this one is SL. Okay, apply. It's SI. Huh. All right. Well, let's go ahead and add that other operation. Operation is create file. And I have no idea which one is which, so I'm just going to leave the 4 filters on there. We'll go ahead and narrow this down to 665 events. I'm also going to stop the capture for process monitor. And we'll go ahead and expand it over here. Let's expand the path name. And let's see what there is to see. We've got a prefetch. Is it still there? We have the prefetch. Good. All right. What else do we have? We see a bunch of SDBs and DLLs right off the bat. It is immediately accessing Microsoft.NET Frameworks folder. Okay. What else do we have? We've got some assembly, of course, because the program's written in assembly. We have a bunch of DLLs. DLL. What else have we got here? We got some accessibility.ini's. We got a GDI plus.dll, dwight.dll. Okay, I believe a few of these are custom, but they're not telling us very much. It is accessing zip program data. What else do we have here that I can work with? It looks like I put propsys.dll on the desktop and immediately removed it once it was done with it. Configuration Manager 32. Okay. Okay. But I'm not seeing... It is accessing inet cookies. Alright. Interesting statement malware. But what does it mean? We've got some redistributables for VC. It's in the low directory and offline and temp. It is putting some custom files in the temp directory. We've got offline. Let's just jump to this really quick. They're still here. And we've got unattend and upgrader.exe. Okay, I'm mostly interested in upgrader.exe. Let's take a look at this really quick, because it may be a genuine Microsoft file. Oh, that's just VMware tools. Oh! Oh, interesting. There's no way that it doesn't know. Well, maybe. Maybe it's just accessing every temp file in the temp directory. Because I was thinking, there's no way that it doesn't know VMware is running, but it's still going to go through. But I think now it's just analyzing every file that it can. Because, yeah, it's definitely pulling my VMware information, and it's just like, this is fine. Wireshark, Zooey, yeah, who cares about all that? And we do have another instance of the malware in the roaming directory, which does seem to have been deleted. If you remember from VirusTotal, that was one of the other names for the malware, so it looks like it did paste itself in roaming. We got PowerShell again, and we are accessing scheduled tasks. Interesting. So there is a chance that we have persistence on the machine. We also have Montero Resources.dll, Montero Resources.exe. Let's jump to that as well. Okay, it does seem that Montero Resources.exe has been deleted. Oh, yes, even got a... Yeah, this folder is definitely not on my desktop, so I should have been able to tell that on my own. My bad. But I wonder what it is. So we're going to do two different things. The first one I want to do is I want to get that other file name. I believe it was up around here somewhere. I might have gone a little too far. It was the one that was the same copy as this. Here it is. So I'm going to create a notepad. And we're going to bring it over here just so it's not in the way. And this one is ggrsdeq.exe. And the other one is Montero Resources, but I need to make sure I've got it right. Montero.resources.exe. So, we've got those there. Let's go ahead and save it, just in case. Documents, we'll name it that. And then let's copy this. So we're going to remove that filter. I'm going to have to delete all of these. Boop, boop, and boop. And then we're going to go process name is that, add apply. And just to show that the malware is not running anymore, there's nothing in System Informer. No scheduled tasks, no anything like that. We have 4 explorers, which isn't necessarily malicious on its own. It's just weird. But no fake service host or anything of the sort. So this returned nothing. It didn't actually do anything. And then the other one was Montero.resources.exe. For some reason now that's not looking correct. Let's apply this. And Montero Resources didn't do anything either. But that also doesn't look right to me anymore. So we're going to replace that with... Oh, God. Where did it go? We're going to replace it with siww.exe, apparently. Alright. And apply. Not a gun. Is it not an I? Okay. Maybe it has to be... Maybe it is case sensitive. I remember we checked this in the past and it wasn't, but that might have changed because I haven't done malware analysis in a couple months. Okay, maybe it is case sensitive. Who knows? Let's go back to the bottom and just make sure that I had that name correct. There's scheduled tasks. Montero.resources.exe, yeah. Alright, so that didn't do anything either, just plastered it on the desktop for some reason. Maybe it was called, but didn't actually do anything on its own. This is also a possibility. So next we're going to go to Wireshark, and we don't have a lot of information being sent back and forth. We've got some NBNS. Here we go. We get an 85.159.66.93. Was that one of the relations? No, it's not on here, but we've got 3 reset acknowledgements from it. So, coincidence? Possibly. But I'm not seeing anything else that's really just jumping out at me, except for 162.159.61.4, but that's probably either Microsoft or Google or something like that. If we take a look over here, Yeah, the only one with triple digits is a 192. Okay, let's just go ahead and plaster this in Zooey really quick. And we will get this started. So let's go to Documents. I didn't save it, apparently. Save. Save. There we go. And now to start to filter that, and while it does, protected payload with quick. Interesting. I don't know why I maximized that. Bring that over here and bring the Firefox over here. So first IP address we're going to do is ADDR 192.168.0.5. And obviously no connections to it. So the other ones we've got are 23s. I think these are all Microsoft, though. So I wonder what its C2 capability could possibly be. Maybe it's not a rat. Maybe it's not even an info stealer. Maybe it's just a Trojan that's just sitting on the computer. It is possible. But I wonder what its payload would be in that case. Okay. So it could just be a simple Trojan that's not actually communicating. If we restart the computer and the program starts and then just closes again, I'm probably going to be under the firm belief that this is a Trojan and not a rat or an info stealer, but we'll keep an open mind on it. Go ahead and put this in full screen and query the pool and see if this tells us anything. We do have an alert 3 here, but it's just suricata. Yeah, we have no suspicious traffic. And that would also make sense as to why there's no behavior rules that are being caught on IDS. This is so weird. A Trojan? A simple Trojan in 2025. I almost said 2024. I'm going to cry. Okay. Well, in that case, there's really not much else to do than restart the computer. So we'll go ahead and close all this. Need to be careful because I'm in a virtual machine and I don't want to close the VM by accident. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and restart the computer, and after that, there shouldn't be much else to do. So we'll restart, we'll open System Informer as quickly as we possibly can, and that will wrap up the video. I may do some further investigation on the side. It would be way too boring and take way too long for the video, which is why I'm not considering doing it on the video. But I may do some looking into it, and it's running right here under Windows devices. Same thing as the details for the old malware, but that is really weird. And yeah, it did just close itself, and registry services are running again, and immediately closes. Yeah, I'm starting to get the feeling that this is just a Trojan. Not a rat, not an info stealer, not anything trying to steal your data. Just a program that says it's a Microsoft utility and just runs in the background without pilfering data. It is very interesting. I will do some research on the side to see if I can find a C2 server that's communicating with it, but I do believe VirusTotal in this instance, when we had a combined 300 packets that were sent during the entirety of the system being up, and it was all to like Microsoft and maybe Google. So I might do some static analysis on the side as well. Either way, that's going to be it for this video. If there is an update, I will make it known in the comments section. But that's going to be it. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, please make sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below if there's anything I did not do in this video that you want to see in future videos, or the other way around, something you don't want to see in future videos. And let me know if you found anything interesting about this one. I know there's not really much interest to be gathered from this, but it do be malicious, it do be a Trojan, but what does it mean? So I'm definitely going to take a look on the side, and I will make an update in the comments, or maybe even the description, with anything that I find. Anyway, that's going to be it. My name is Larry Bodenheimer. You guys have been amazing, and I will see you in the next one.